Was Israel given a twofold ministry of priests and Levites, similar to that of early church elders and deacons? Were they to live from offerings? Does this relate to modern preachers living from the gospel? Let's look at Numbers 18. Who are to be the ministers to help the priests in their service? So the Lord said to Aaron, "You and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear iniquity connected with the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear iniquity connected with your priesthood. And with you bring your brothers also, the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, that they may join you and minister to you, while you and your sons with you are before the tent of the testimony. You shall keep guard over you and over the whole tent. But you shall not come near to the vessels of the sanctuary, or to the altar, lest they and you die. They shall join you and keep guard over the tent of meeting for all the service of the tent, and no outsider shall come near you." Why were the priests guarding the sanctuary and the altar? You are to guard the sanctuary and the altar so that wrath may not fall on the Israelites again. Look, I've selected your fellow Levites from the Israelites as a gift for you, assigned by the Lord to work at the tent of meeting. But you and your sons will carry out your priestly responsibilities for everything concerning the altar and for what is inside the veil, and you'll do that work. I'm giving you the work of the priesthood as a gift, but an unauthorized person who comes near the sanctuary will be put to death. Because the priests didn't have an inheritance in the land, what was to be their income? Then the Lord told Aaron, "Look, I'm indeed placing you in charge of my raised offerings and the holy things concerning the Israelis. Because of your anointing, I'm giving you and your sons a prescribed portion forever. This is what's to belong to you from the consecrated offerings spared from the fire. All of their offerings, grain offerings, sin offerings, and trespass offerings that they render to me. They're to be considered most sacred to you and your sons. You may eat them as consecrated gifts. Every male may eat them. They're sacred for you." What else was to be given to the priests for them to eat? "And this is yours, the heave offering of their gift, and all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I've given them to you, and to your sons and to your daughters with you, by a statute forever. Everyone that's clean in your house shall eat of it, all the best of the oil and all the best of the wine and of the wheat, the firstfruits of them, which they shall offer to the Lord. Them have I given you." Did the first of fruit and animals also belong to the priests? "The first ripe fruits of all that's in their land, which they bring to Yahweh, shall be yours. Every one of your household who's clean may eat it. Every devoted thing in Israel shall be yours. Every first issue of the womb of all flesh, whether man or animal, which they bring near to Yahweh, shall be yours. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man you shall surely redeem, and the firstborn of unclean animals you shall redeem." How were the firstborn children redeemed? Could the firstborn of clean animals be redeemed? "And to their redemption price, from a month old you shall redeem them by your assessment, 5 shekels in silver by the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstborn of an ox, the firstborn of a sheep, or the firstborn of a goat you shall not redeem. They're holy. You shall sprinkle their blood on the altar and offer up their fat in smoke as an offering by fire, for a soothing aroma to the Lord. However, their meat shall be yours. It shall be yours like the breast of a wave offering, and like the right thigh." What was God's reason for being so generous with food for the priests? Whatever's set aside from the holy offerings the Israelites present to the Lord, I give to you and to your sons and daughters as your perpetual share. It's an everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord for both you and your offspring. The Lord said to Aaron, "You'll have no inheritance in their land, nor will you have any share among them. I'm your share and your inheritance among the Israelites." Why did God give the Levites the tithe of the people as their inheritance? Behold, I've given the children of Levi all the tithes in Israel as an inheritance in return for the work which they perform, the work of the tabernacle of meeting. Hereafter the children of Israel shall not come near the tabernacle of meeting, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall perform the work of the tabernacle of meeting, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. For the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer up as a heave offering to the Lord, I've given to the Levites as an inheritance. Therefore I've said to them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. Who was the tithe of the tithe to go to? Who did the Levites present it to? The Lord also told Moses, Give these instructions to the Levites. When you receive from the people of Israel the tithes I've assigned as your allotment, give 1/10 of the tithes you receive, a tithe of the tithe, to the Lord as a sacred offering. The Lord will consider this offering to be your harvest offering, as though it were the first grain from your own threshing floor, or wine from your own winepress. You must present 1/10 of the tithe received from the Israelites as a sacred offering to the Lord. This is the Lord's sacred portion, and you must present it to Aaron the priest. Be sure to give to the Lord the best portions of the gifts given to you. Was the tithe given to the Levites to be considered as their own labor, and as much their property as the land produced for other tribes? Therefore you shall tell them, when you heave its best from it, then it shall be credited to the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress. You may eat it anywhere, you and your households, for it's your reward in return for your service in the tent of meeting. You shall bear no sin by reason of it. When you've heaved from it its best, you shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, that you don't die. As priests and Levites lived from the offerings, may ministers live from the gospel, if they so choose. Don't you know that those who serve in the temple get to eat food from the temple, and those who serve at the altar share part of what's sacrificed on the altar? In the same way, the Lord commanded that those who preach the gospel should get their living from the gospel. But I haven't taken advantage of this, and I'm not writing this so that it'll be done for me. It's better for me to die than to lose my right to brag about this. What did Jesus teach us about our generosity in giving? If you give to others, you'll be given a full amount in return. It'll be packed down, shaken together, and spilling over into your lap. The way you treat others is the way you'll be treated. Was Israel given a twofold ministry of priests and Levites, similar to that of early church elders and deacons? Were they to live from offerings? Does this relate to modern preachers living from the gospel? You decide.